Hey, how's everyone doing today? It's been a week. Chris Butler was saying, it's Friday already? Yeah. This week has gone by quickly. I've got the kids here all week and another week, and it's been hard to get anything done. Might be a little more background noise or interruptions this week. I might actually have to make lunch on stream. So I've got my iPhone you were seeing before. So if I go to this camera, you see this iPhone. And if I press this, you see me in full color. And I've got my Godox wireless. So it might be fun to go over to the kitchen, show you how the weird way that I make coffee. Wenglish was sick through the week. I was sick last week. Last Friday, my wife held in a sneeze at work and blew her eardrum out. And so she's slowly recovering from that. The plan today, there's a couple free VSTs I wanted to try out. I did not get a chance to download them yet, but I'm going to open them up in tabs and we will check them out and play with them a little bit. I want to look at Analog Lab. It's been quite a while since I've explored presets in there. I just want to go through maybe half an hour of that, try some things out, add to favorites, that sort of thing, so that when inspiration strikes, I don't have to go through the entire list every time. There's also a custom action somebody was asking about that I'd like to try to build. Yeah, that's the plan. All right, let's just jump right into it. Let's jump into the news, the free plugins that we want to check out today. Pulsar Audio released the Smasher Compressor plugin. For a limited time, this is free. This is through Plugin Boutique, which I didn't realize. But yeah, let's add that to cart. This is an 1176 style compressor. You know, you probably have a bunch of them, but if you don't have an 1176 style compressor yet, it's probably worth grabbing. It's got an all buttons in mode, and I don't know what specifically is good about this particular version, but it looks nice. Looks like the hardware. That's the first one we're going to check out. Then PeakEater free wave shaper effect plugin. PeakEater lets you choose between different wave shaping functions to clip everything above ceiling level. Therefore, you can boost overall volume of your track safely without worrying about some nasty peak, which would go above maximum loud volume of your DAW. Yeah, free to download. It's on GitHub. Reaper.blog/plugin boutique. Even though it's a free plugin, if you pick something else up today or this week, that'll really help out. So, a free clipper, if you don't have one already. There are some good ones in Reaper already, but that one has a nice display and everything. So this is still a beta plugin, but probably worth looking at. Okay, we might have to skip Pulsar today because of iLock. We'll look at the clipper at least today. All right, so we'll just set the ceiling so that one peak gets cut off. That's pretty effective and easy. Pull down the ceiling, it prevents that sound from going past that level. There's different types, so different kind of character. It is a wave shaper, so you can think of it as a soft clipper or like a distortion. And then once all the peaks are eaten, you can increase the overall level. I feel like that's kind of a decent level already. But that's the difference. That's what we're taking out with this. So that function in Reaper is called Delta Solo, if you don't know about that already. So you just alt-click or right-click and choose Delta Solo. And it's basically doing like a null flip. Whatever has changed from the input is heard. Link input with output, so that is going to make it, that could make it loud. Or actually that should balance the levels. So it didn't increase in level, but you can hear a lot more distortion happening. I think the different types of wave shaping here are kind of hard to tell the difference between, unless you're specifically listening in delta mode. Even then, I hardly hear a difference. If it was just a hard and a arctangent version, that would be fine with me. So basically like a hard and a soft mode. But yeah, it's useful. This is how I wish ReaLimit worked. I'm always annoyed with ReaLimit. I always feel like what I saw there in PeakEater was how I expect ReaLimit to work. So they're not linked right now. I will turn down. And as I turn it down, the entire waveform shrinks. This has gain linked to it, and I don't want that. I just want to choose the ceiling, right? I want this red line to move, but the waveform to stay the same. Right, so I'm barely getting any peak reduction. It's only like right at 0 where that's happening. But if I turn down the threshold, that's going to increase the level. Let's say I clip it at -5 and turn that up. Now with that similar to how I expect it to look, it's going to get a lot louder. And that's not at all what I want. So PeakEater and some of the other plugins are more intuitive for me for doing that sort of just turning down kind of limiting your compression. I wish they had some sort of threshold unlinked from volume, but they are different tools. PeakEater is cool for a free plugin. Yeah, absolutely. I think for like a lone developer making a free plugin, it's excellent. A similar one is Clip Shifter, which I don't actually have here. Well, I'll show you the T-Rex Clipper. This one kind of works the same as ReaLimit. Actually, no. T-Rex Clipper works like PeakEater. So turn that one off. So it turns down. And then you can turn up the overall. I think. No, the gain's on the input. Yeah, you can push into the input. So again, this one doesn't have a fixed threshold necessarily. So it's like set your ceiling, let's say -12.6, increase this until we get some gain reduction. And then you might need another plugin to make up the overall output change. Sonable has a good one. I was going to mention Clip Shifter. There's one that I have an old license for it. LVC Audio. It looks basically like that. So there's like the rectified waveform, and you can see 2 threshold amounts and the gain reduction curve as it's happening. It's got mid-side controls, EQ, the 2 thresholds, kind of like a meter for the amount of saturation. You can scale the metering. There's gain reduction or clipping indicators, stuff like that. I like this one a lot. Oh, it's been replaced by clipped max. Which I haven't looked at this one at all. Looks like it's multi-band, and the cost is $50. Not too horrible. Yeah, it's a good mastering clipper. ReaLimit is good. It just doesn't work the way that I think. PeakEater I could see myself using quite a bit. Sometimes this soft clipper, the JS soft clipper, actually sounds really good. But again, this is working similar to like ReaLimit, where there's a brick wall output which turns down the signal. If you want more clipping, you can actually type in higher values than the fader goes. And with the boost function, that's like an input into clipping. Event horizon is, again, similar to that. Ceiling, threshold, and the threshold has an auto gain. They all sound slightly different. PeakEater seems to have a fair amount of control over how it sounds with the type and the oversampling, and then the input and output linking. Pretty cool. I'm going to load up my project from last week, see how much I hate it. It's a start. I don't hate it. My reverb changed, though, so... I guess no one would know what my my preset is for the... Hey, you can see beans, too. I don't know what my number was for this. Close enough. Probably this cutoff is a little too much. Let's get some resonance. Yeah, let's put in track envelope. Let's put in a automation item that is 2 bars long. Let's do a triangle LFO. It starts at 25%. Yeah, so it needs more build up in this section here. I'm gonna hide my drum tracks, and let's find some sort of riser. So I'm going to reverse it, and oh, I hate when I can't snap the ends. Snap both start and end. And that should snap to this bar. It's probably going to sound like ass. Sound like ass. Oh, you know what? It doesn't sound right because it's going through that filter too. How do you reverse it? I did it through item settings. You can also do it in here. Reverse toggle right there. There's a reverse playback button in the Media Explorer as well. All right, so let's EQ that. Filter, big high shelf. You literally can't hear it at all. It's just not good. But it's partly because the whole mix is filtered. And I'd have to move all the effects down to a folder. Otherwise, so it's, yeah. It's been a while since I've tried this. Let's use the, oh, I bet I don't even have it installed. I always regret not preparing more for these things, but you never know when you get an idea for something in a video until it happens. So in UVI Workstation, I have the, not whoosh, but something like that. Please, UVI, open someday, today, please. SweepMachine is what it's called. But I don't think UVI is going to open today. This is why we have auto backups. Okay, cool. Sweep control mod wheel. And presets. Here. Yeah, so SweepMachine is a noise generator with sort of this metallic resonant filter, the whole bunch of, I'm guessing these are impulse responses, but they kind of create these metallic resonances, and they all sound different. Maybe they're not impulse responses, but they're like drones, let's say. So with the sweep control section, you can assign it to the mouse wheel. You can assign it to a certain number of bars. Yeah, or use the mod wheel and you can choose the curve. There's the LFO. Flanger, delay, sparkle, reverb. And it's pitched across the keyboard. Now, can I make this actually work with what I want to do here? Probably not. But we'll see. No, I think I want out 4 bars. Is that how I would do it? It's always like a year between how the hell did my MIDI editor get up there? It's always like a year between uses for this one. God damn. No. Not that. Overall, I was probably auditioning it through that filter on the master that entire time. Yeah. I'm very sorry. That's hard. Let's say I take that. In this case, I probably just want it as an audio file. So let's give it a bit more tail. Right click, apply tracks as a new take. And I'll just mute the plugin, maybe reverse this again. I think I got a shortcut for reverse. There it is. Snap that. It's so subtle in there. I'll use it somewhere else. It's kind of cool, but I don't know really where to use it. Let's loop this section. I think in general it needs some sort of drone. Not drone, like a pad. Yep. I can at least start with the, you know, that root note chord thing. desperately trying to remember how this works. That's kind of nice. And I've got such long release. Why? There it is. Let's split that. Let's try something like that. I don't like it. Okay, so should we get into Analog Lab a little bit? All right, so I've got a few favorites saved in Analog Lab, but I upgraded since then. So then there's like thousands more presets available. So I think I will explore by, let's just do string sounds. I feel like these controllers are not moving. I see them move, I don't hear it change. Okay, that makes a difference. This one might be cool with an arpeggiator. I forget where that is. I thought there was an arpeggiator in this. No, I'm thinking of the contact thing, the complete control. That one has arpeggiator built in. Most music streamers don't get a lot of views. I'm just making myself available for people to have the Reaper questions answered. I'm not here to be famous or anything. Like, is this a bug? I'm moving this. It makes no difference in sound if I use the mouse. Clearly it does. I'll map the reverb volume. You can see their length, right? Okay, that one works, but the brightness and timbre controls don't seem to make a change in sound. But if I move the mouse, I don't know. Maybe it's a bug. I like that one. Absolutely, yes. When you do the X-Touch CSI testing, are you planning on doing V2 or V3? By the time I get to it, it'll be V3 probably. Charlie was supposed to help me with making a video for V2, and then like just the pace of the updates kind of like anytime he would think to work on it, it would end up like changing. So I don't know. I think we're kind of waiting for it to become more stable, as in like less updates. But I think I can't even keep up with the forum threads about it. Yeah, I mean, ultimately, it's where I'm going to end up with it. But I still want to give like equal attention to all the other ones. It's stalled now on 3 or 2. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'll probably have to get to that soon then. I like these really wide ones, but I know they're kind of impractical in a mix. Okay, I think it's time for us to change tasks. I'm getting pretty hungry, so I think we have got to like move to the mobile camera and see if I can pull up the stream on my iPad so that I can manage chat. Cooking stream. All right, so we're going to this camera. I'll probably make coffee for me and grilled cheese for the kids. Let's do coffee first. So the weird way that I make coffee, I use a big measuring cup instead of a French press because my French press died. It fell off the counter and smashed into a billion pieces. But it turns out that this is actually a better method because its cleanup is way easier. The auto tracking thing is cool. What's doing it? It's called an OBSBot, like a gimbal sort of thing that holds my phone. It's got its own camera that follows me, but otherwise it's just holding the phone. I do everything by weight if possible. So I'm doing a half pot, like 500 milliliters of water. So I'm just doing like 18 grams of coffee. The coffee I use is Melita Bella Crema Espresso. This is like 2-pound bag for $15. I have a very non-fancy grinder, generic sort of thing. I do it in a weird way. I pulse 8 times, then shake it, bang it on the table, another 8 times, another 4 times. I want it to be very consistent. So over here I've got 18 grams of coffee ground just yesterday, and then a pinch of salt goes in. That's going to make this size cup. Using 40 grams for 500 mil? Yeah, that's a lot. I do 31 grams for 900 milliliters. Come back here. Stop. Why salt? Salt reduces bitterness. I like super dark coffee. I caught him. I like super dark roasted coffee. So a pinch of salt helps with that. That's all. 30 grams for 500 of drip. I think that makes sense. Using more for drip because it gets filtered out rather than like a submersion process. I've got a Bodum coffee maker or kettle because it's very quiet and quick, and because I got it at a thrift store for $4 instead of the usual like $80. So I just pour in the water until it says 500 on scale. I give it a stir and I set it for 6 minutes. Set the oven timer for 6 minutes. This is such a weird stream, right? Cat's name is Beans. Elton Brown's channel a few times for the streams. The quality isn't there. The video quality and audio quality is pretty bad. Love the stream. Leave the whole thing up, please. It's hard to manage the camera angles here. That's probably so much worse. All right, so I'm gonna get the cast iron pan heating up for the grilled cheese. I don't think I do anything weird with the grilled cheese in how I cook it. There's a lot of different ways to do it. Mainly you heat up bread with cheese. Although I do put salt and pepper in it every time. This apartment doesn't have a lot of counter space. This kitchen doesn't have a lot of counter space, so I always end up kind of taking this spot here by the stove to do all the prep. Which doesn't make any sense. This is the smallest area, but there's always dishes and stuff over here. I like the French press, but cleanup with the submersion method just uses a silicone spatula into the garbage can or into a compost, and it's like 2 seconds. cleaning up the French press is always annoying. Grilled cheese. There's a lot of schools of thought on this. You could butter the bread. You could put butter into the pan. You could do it open face and then close it. Today we're going to do open face with butter in the pan. Okay, and then the cheese goes on the bread. We're using a multi-grain bread today. And then a bit of salt and pepper. I know that a lot of people just, they don't know how to cook. They never needed to. I had to learn how to cook. Not that this is just making a sandwich. I don't consider this cooking. A lot of people don't even get this far with learning how to cook. I had to learn how to cook because my wife was always getting nauseous when she was pregnant. So I had to quickly learn how to do every type of technique. But then I loved it, and I went super in-depth on learning everything. Okay, it's not ready to flip. I've got a whole bunch of cast iron pans and stuff. Oh, Instant Pot. I haven't cooked with a microwave in 3 years or something like that. We got rid of ours. Okay. Coffee's done. So I use a little mesh strainer, wire mesh strainer. It's done. You get all the oils, you get all the crema and everything. It's kind of a small pan. It's not a great pan to do two grilled cheese at once. Takes a long time to heat up, and then it stays hot for too long. When I'm making my own grilled cheese, I'll put cheese on the outside too. And that was a game changer. I'll show you what you do for that. Just move your sandwich to the side. Grab some cheese. Right in the frying pan. Bread on top. Let it sit for a little bit. I've got an electric stove too. They're not... There's so many environmental concerns with a gas stove. I did gas stove for a while at my last house, and I don't really prefer it. A little easier to control the heat. I kind of prefer this. This is this gets plenty hot. You don't cook on high heat 99% of the time anyways. Like right now, this is on 2. The stove's on 2. And this is more than hot enough to burn this, so. Electric stove is safer. Yeah, I don't really like the induction, the glass cooktop ones. I toss around the pans and stuff too much. I'll crack a glass top. I think in general the Reaper community is a little bit older. So like, I know people have kids and stuff. A lot of us have kids and jobs and skills, life skills, responsibilities. You know, there's a little more to talk about than just the music production playtime. Let's do the tour of the whole rest of the apartment, I guess. Hallway, entrance, living room, and back to the studio. I should eat, but coffee is a substitute for eating. All right, we are back. That was fun. That was a little different. I think that worked better than I expected. I expected that to be choppy and no audio and any of those things. Yes, adulting. Chris, you were asking about the controller I'm using. I've got the Akai. No, you've got the Akai. This is the Novation Nocturne, which is discontinued and no way of updating that. Here's the next thing I'd like to do. This was a Facebook post. I use the pencil envelope tool a bit. I'd like to have the control button be a toggle so I don't have to hold it down to use it. Done a bit of search through actions, but maybe I'm not searching correctly. Any advice? So, pencil tool workflow means like this sort of thing, or actually this sort of thing on the envelopes, which is freehand draw ignoring snap. So how do we toggle that? Let's look at mouse modifiers first. I think this is going to be a case where we need to make a custom action, no, a cycle action that toggles two behaviors. So I've got no action as my default, and holding command does freehand draw envelope. I can change this to freehand draw envelope, and that should be available in the action list. Set default mouse modifier action for selected envelope lane, drag to freehand draw envelope, and no action. So we need a button that will toggle these two behaviors. Cycle action editor. We're using this because it can do a toggle, or it can do stepped sort of things. Add cycle action. This will be called toggle mouse draw. Set it as a toggle. All right, we're gonna select the no action in factory default. Add that. Then I guess a step. Freehand draw envelope and ignoring snap. Add selected. Yeah, I'm not sure if that's actually gonna work. There might be a better way to do this, but I'll apply that now. Cycle toggle mouse draw. Oh, okay, so it's on. I run that again. And that's off. Cool. So we just need to maybe add this to a toolbar. All right. So if I close that, run, open up action list again. So it's toggle. It's changing this preference. Run that again, and it's there. So let's try toolbar button. Add this one, select and close. Let's put it at the very start. Let's give it a pencil. So I just need to flip that. I think I just need to reverse the order of these, and that'll work. Someone mentioned dummy toggles. I think dummy toggles would be another way to do it. All right, so if this is lit, that should do drawing, and then this is not lit, that should, yeah, normal. I think I got that. So if anyone is interested in this cycle action, it's actually very simple. Just changing the default mouse modifier action for envelope lane left drag to freehand draw, ignoring snap, then a step, then set default mouse modifier action to no action, which is the default. Set the toggle with it and save it. Yeah. So let's just do the Analog Lab track. Add the volume envelope, and normally click and drag does this. I can turn this on, and then I can draw that in. And my left hand doesn't have to do anything. Kind of cool. Is my theme documented somewhere? Yes. So let's look at Reaper.blog. Let's look for theme. My customized Reaper 6 theme. It was a considerable amount of work, and it's not done. Yeah, it's easy to tweak the theme. It's hard to make it perfect. That's too long. It needs to be like a quarter note. Sixteenth note. Reverse hi-hat, I think somebody mentioned. Why are the 707s so gross sounding? Is it in D minor? It basically only plays D. Pretty much just sustains on D, and it's more about vibe than anything. It does go up to F. We had this. And something in Analog Lab is going to sound better than that. I'll try that. Insert arpeggio of... Yeah, let's do D minor. And let's get rid of the delay. There's just a delay built in. Where's the delay coming from? Love it. Not enough control over that. Let's do a different synth then. Sure. Okay. So that's just going to go a few times, and then in here, in this one, just come up to F and see how that goes. And maybe these ones go up an octave. And then maybe this one goes down an octave. Not very like creative like, but it's a start. And then overall it's gonna like fade in. Let's do, let me just do a volume adjustment. D minor to F major. I don't hate it. But yeah, let's try F major. I don't mind going major to minor. I play things like that. I think I'm going to add in a distortion type thing. Yeah, so I'm thinking just like bring that up right at the end. It's gonna end up being the same beat, isn't it? That's kind of working. Let's go up to G, I guess. I don't know if I'm going to use these there. The toms are cringe, but oh well. And then that whole shit repeats. Okay, so I don't know if I like this big pressure anymore. Yeah, I don't. toms are just unmixed. Let's hear that with some reverb. Now where's the yeah, the toms don't sound good, but they can make you smile. So I think they're acceptable. You kind of get that it's not that serious. I forgot that we were supposed to be testing a plugin after all this time. That new PeakEater. Let's put that on the drums and see what that looks like here. The whole reason I opened this project was to test the test the plugin. Now we're hearing quite a bit of difference. Very crunchy. I feel like with the way it's set up right now, I'm not hearing a difference in distortion. But it's not doing a lot. Let's go to the this new section. $3 dB, roughly. go a bit lower. There's a bit of something there. Let's try a different mode. Yeah, I can deal with that kind of amount of distortion, but we're gaining a bit of headroom there. What was I looking for? I was looking for like a chorus, I guess. Range. Oh, range. I think that made a huge difference. I'm gonna do kind of like standard tom EQs. Let's actually do this by the numbers here. 110, so this one should be 220. I mean, I got that kind of by ear anyways, but. Who here is using control surfaces? I am. Does John does the Behringer stand the test of time? The problem I have, the reason I don't use it more is because I'm stuck between trying to learn different control surface systems to use to find the best option for the X-Touch. I'm not using it today just so that I have the keyboard in front of me. Yeah, it's good. It definitely works well. With the control surfaces and stuff, you have to kind of force yourself to get into the habit of using it, but then every job doesn't call for it. So I don't need the control surface when I'm editing a video. So it's just kind of in the way. Mixing a song, it's definitely helpful. Writing a song, it's sometimes helpful. Having a MIDI controller in front of you is probably more useful. It's very helpful for certain things. Having to like remember to connect everything, launch web remotes and stuff like that, various software that goes along with it, the more friction there is, the less you're going to use that stuff. Having the control surface is definitely something I don't want to, I don't want to be without the control surface. But it's definitely not something you're going to use for every project or every day. You got to figure out which control surface scheme works best for adding effects parameters quickly. That's the big thing. So I might not automate volumes in a video edit, but I might want to automate effects. And if I have to like go into a menu and add this thing and MIDI learn it and then grab the knob, it's almost faster just to grab the envelope. And that's why you're seeing me use automation envelopes instead of writing parameters, just because I don't want to do it. Ask any plans to update or do more with WRB? Well, the main guy, Michael, and I are no longer friends. He wanted to end the partnership a couple of years back, so that's why we made it open source. And there is someone that has taken over in some sense. I was just looking at it this week. The documentation is kind of a mess. We've released it as a product and a course on the Reaper blog. He wanted it to be open source. I wanted to keep making money from it because even though he was making the majority of the profit from it, he just didn't want to develop it anymore. We've left it in a pretty good state, but then a couple of years has gone by before anyone has really taken on this open source project. I think this is the first one that I've seen. The actual documentation for it is kind of just left to link you to my old, like, to the course videos. And there's stuff from the website that is not covered here. There's text documentation that's not covered. I think people just get on with it. They figure it out. Because the videos were good. But there's some things missing. Okay, we need to find the latest version in the releases folder. So there's a release folder, WRB 2.2.2. Wait, this says 2 years ago, though. I don't know. This is the weird thing about GitHub and GitLab and stuff like that. I never know what the newest version of it is. Do I use it? I don't use it. It's funny you can't find more web templates for stock Reaper Web UI. There's like maybe 6 of them total. Okay, I found a download button. Let's check it out. There was a change log here somewhere. Copying. It's weird. Like, I know that this was updated within like a week, but it's saying 4 years ago for a lot of the stuff. Like the file creation dates seem wrong. But I can see if I can figure out installing this. So yeah, these file creation dates don't seem correct. They all say 2020, but there's definitely stuff from last week. Does anyone make sense of this? Currently on the master branch. So if I click here, these are a week ago. Is this? I don't know. Browse files. Where's the actual? Okay, these say 1 week ago. Okay. And then the documentation is all Michael's stuff from 4 years ago. Branches, this one? I don't know how to download this. Top right corner above the list of files. Yeah, there's this, but this is the source code. It's possible there isn't a new actual release, just the source code is updated. The course was the video documentation of Reaper WRB that I did 4 years ago or longer ago. It's open source and it's kind of a mess now. I really liked it. I think it was a really cool project. I'm glad that we were able to make a bit of money from it. But yeah, it was kind of bummed that didn't get to keep making money from it and keep developing it further because we had a lot of users. We had, I don't know if I can look that up exactly. I'll go to this camera and just log into the site. Yeah, so we had 700 users, people that bought the course or a few that I had given licenses to. The main WRB tutorial from 5 years ago only has 2,000 views. None of them really have that many views. The 2.2 update has 6,000 views, 9,000 views on the launch video. In the playlist, some of these videos were public and some of them weren't. Some of them were inside the course. So like using the editor, how to use the editor, install tutorial, 500 views. So it's like, I don't know, not that many people actually using it, or maybe there are and they just didn't go through the tutorials. Who knows? I gotta go to the washroom and I'll be right back. I like the bouncing logo item. Is that using the video processor we developed on stream? I took what you made, applied my logo, did a glitch effect to it, and then recorded like a 13-minute loop of it or something like that. OBS is just playing back a video file for that. Mark Bragg, if you are on the Discord, that's probably the best place to share scripts. So one sec, I'm gonna get the invite link. If you're not on our Discord, join. It's a very good group. Yeah, Jason, I was just about to say your new Midjourney stuff is great. Can you really go wrong with that color palette though? Like, it just always works. It never fails. The ones that were like yesterday, what did you think of these ones? These were kind of weird. Using this as a source image and then putting them in a different environment, that was weird. I didn't see any response from them about that. It worked pretty well. Added a shirt. We've already gone over time, but we may as well just keep going. As the coffee is kicked in. The one I did of the Doomslayer with version 4 worked pretty well. I'm just gonna do a quick. Imagine when they use this sort of thing to make a person look like they're at the scene of a crime. I should probably do Doomslayer Retrowave. That's pretty good for 0 effort. Portrait of the Doomslayer Retrowave. Highly detailed. This Discord was started by Mike Robinson. Let's talk about Reaper. This is great. I love this. I love mashing up films that don't exist. The screen grab prompts are, yeah. There's some really good ones in there. Yeah, this is probably one of my best ones. Doomslayer screen grab of Doom directed by Christopher Nolan. I think that's pretty successful. Spaghetti horror ones. I don't know where all the rest of them went. There were so many of those. And these ones aren't mine. But there's some great stuff here. This one's frequently my phone background. A melted SpongeBob popsicle. I've got a hot dog one. It's not this, but that's pretty good. The girl one's good, yeah. This is a Dawn of the Evil Dead 2. They all have this mouth every single time. I don't... I couldn't get away from the mouth. Imaginary Doom screenshots, screen grabs. I like these Goofy skeleton ones a lot, especially this guy. This guy's great. Larry David's Beetlejuice sitcom. National Lampoon's Canadian Vacation. Christmas Vacation in the Style of Doom. Wes Anderson's Terminator 2. Why not? I should probably wrap up here. It's late. It's 1 o'clock now. Thank you all for joining the live stream today. It's great to have you here as part of your Friday afternoon. Yeah, we got some stuff done. Cooking stream again next week, I guess. And yeah, leave your questions, comments. Check out the video that published yesterday, the Strata video. If you're a game developer, you should definitely pay attention to that. Otherwise, yeah, I got to get back to work, watch my kids, and spend some time with them. All right. See you guys later. Thanks, guys. See you later.